Hello, guys. Matt Singers here. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about optimal team size. I was just talking with a new client of mine. She had a team of 24 people, and every single one of those 24 people were reporting directly to her. That is definitely not my recommendation to do. So generally, I have three types of recommendation depending on team size, position, and so on and so forth, right? So the number one thing to think about when you're looking at team size is first of all, what is your role in the company? If you're the business owner, if you're the CEO, I generally recommend not to have more than five, maybe six people reporting directly to you. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, as a CEO and business owner, you have a lot more things and some very important things to do other than just managing people, right? You have a lot more strategic focus, vision, so on and so forth. So therefore, it is very important for you that you put yourself in a situation where you have the time to do that. And if you have more than five or maybe six people reporting to you, that is going to be difficult. Again, this is why most typical organizations, if you look at any bigger companies, they typically have a CEO and then they have a C-suite team under them, which is typically 3, 4 to 5 people, right? It leaves enough time for the CEO to manage that staff, and it leaves enough time for them to do the other things they need to get done. Now, if you're not the CEO of a company, if you're working as a manager lower down within a business and you're managing staff, what is the recommendation? So typically on the lower end, if you're managing people doing very different tasks, so let's say you're a marketing manager and you have some people who do pay-per-click advertisement, some that write content, some that does graphic design, some that do different things, right? So if generally your team is mostly doing different things, I typically say 6 to 8 people is probably around the peak that you can actually manage when that is the case, right? And that is because one, you have much more metric to manage, you have much more understanding, performance focus, and so on to focus on when people are doing different roles, right? If people are doing the same tasks, so let's say you're managing a team of customer support, or let's say you're managing a team that could also be within marketing, like if you're the let's say graphic design manager within a marketing team and you have maybe 10 to 12 people who are doing the same role. I generally find that to be a decent number to still manage that effectively, right? So basically, if you're managing various people doing different things, around 6 to 8 people. If you're managing people doing the same work, I'd recommend about 10 to 12 people at a peak, right? Now, how do you ensure this? Because a lot of people feel that it's difficult in the start of a business to hire managers and so on. So the key thing is that there's many different titles you can use and create within your business, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the title of manager. It could be like team leader or lead of a certain part of the team or something. The key thing is that one, you as the most important thing, you want to develop your current staff and you want to develop them to make sure that you train their management skills, right? And particularly as a CEO and business owner, when you start a new company, when you start having these 6, 7, 8 people, one of the key things for me is saying, where do I have a small team? Do I have 2, 3 people doing customer service? Straight away, I want to pick the person who is the best and start trying to develop them into a leadership role for that team, right? So when you have a small team, the earlier you start with developing leadership skills within it, the better your managers will actually have opportunity to grow with the team, because managing 1 or 2 people is not so difficult. Now, if you're put straight in without experience to manage a team of 10 or 12 people, that is going to be a big challenge, right? But if you can start small, if you can start managing 1 or 2 colleagues initially, it's much better learning and it gives you much more time to actually catch up and grow your skills, right? And you can typically start managing those people while you're still doing a fair chunk of the task yourself. And I generally find that that's a great way to grow. It's a great way to test people, make sure they're actually fit for the role and it's something they enjoy doing and so on. And then the fundamental key thing is obviously make sure they have support, right? A lot of the time, it's easy to look at people and just think they'll be good, but everyone, I mean, most business owners have no experience in managing people. Most staff haven't experienced managing people before. So when you're putting new people into a management role, make sure you give them support, training, and so on and so forth. So that was a little bit about optimal team size in my experience and my opinion. I would love for you to share some more. I would love for you to as well subscribe to the video so you can see more of the hints and tips that I share. Have a great day.